Well, hello and welcome to this afternoon session, or mid-afternoon session of the Track National Championships, Day 5. And we're in the men's under 19 teams pursuit final, men's and under 19 elite. So Waikato Bar, plenty black. The team is Kyle Atkin, Matthew Davis, Lewis Johnson, Maui Morrison. So this is the elite men and under 19 teams pursuit final, 4,000 metres will be the distance. Thanks very much for joining us on Sky Sport Next. Dale Woodford with you for the afternoon on our final day. So underway. Matthew Davis getting the team underway, 16 laps. Maui Morrison on second wheel. Then Lewis Johnson, the winner of the points race last night, who has been in good form. He was telling me he was a little disappointed with his IP. This team's pursuit team have a good chance of posting a fast time. So they're getting there. Time's called. Maui Morrison takes over down the back straight. So through the first kilo on 108, not a bad start. So 108 through that first kilometre, they're on a fairly good time at the moment, just got to hold it together. 4,000 metre teams pursuit, a championship record. Well, that's a very fast 4:14 that stood since 2009. Star-studded Canterbury team, Chad Adair, Josh Atkins, Rudolph Murdoch, Michael Vink. Set that time, 4:14, 184. So what's Waikato? What are they going to be able to do? They're a pretty slick lineup. Matthew Davis leading. Lewis Johnson, Maui Morrison. The quartet is looking very good. They should have had plenty of time to put in plenty of laps on this track. 7 to go. They've lost a rider. Never ideal at this stage. Matthew Davis comes off after doing his work. Often planned, but a little risky. You need the horsepower to go super fast. You want to chase those records. You want all riders. So Maui just having to work a little harder, an extra couple of kicks on the pedals to get on the back wheel. That's what happens when you go from 4 to 3. Lewis Johnson. So we'll have a look at what they go through the 3,000 in. 1 lap to go, and now we're at the 3,004 kilometres is the distance. It's Lewis Johnson. Kyle Atkin taken over on the front. Kyle Atkin leads Maui Morrison down the back. So travelling at 56 kilometres an hour. Atkin The bike length back to Maui Morrison, so the pressure's coming on. That's what happens when you drop a rider. Maui's just looks like he's blowing up with 2 to go. Carl Adkin, Maui Morrison, Lewis Johnson. So they probably haven't done enough on the track at this pace. 1 to go. Remember the time's taken on the third rider across the line. So Kyle Adkin comes down. Would have been on a 4:14. So 4:18.012. Well, they were certainly on national record pace, but they needed 4 riders. 4:18. Great start to this under-19 elite men's team's pursuit final. So Matthew Davis, Carl Adkin, Lewis Johnson, Maui Morrison, 4:18.012. So Auckland have seen the time. So Auckland will have Luke Blackwood, Joel Douglas, Austin Norwell, Edward Pawson. This team is capable of breaking the record. Well, they were pretty happy with the ride this morning. They would have got a message sent to them from Stephen Parker to say it's on, boys. Tim Pawson knows it's on. The riders know it's on. They've just got to stay calm, stay relaxed, do the business. So underway, strainer starting. Nice to come into it with a little bit of pressure. So nice, smooth half lap, getting everyone wound up. Luke Blackwood getting the team settled in. He's had a great championships. I know his family will be watching. Luke Blackwood just settles the team in nicely. Edward Pawson will take over as they head down the back straight. 4,000 metres, plenty of time to work into it. They're getting up to good speed. Heading towards that 50k an hour. Pawson. Joel Douglas will take over when Pawson swings up the track, and he'll put a little bit of more push into the team. They're going to come around to the 1,000. Let's see what they go through the first kilo in. They were looking at 108.4, so they're still just a little bit behind what Waikato were doing. 109 is 0.8 behind what Waikato were riding. Remember, Waikato dropped a rider, so Auckland will be smooth, building into it. They'll be listening to what Tim Pawson has to say. Ekimoff's got plenty of experience. So still looking nice and tight. 10 to go as they come down. Don't worry about the lap board. They've done this plenty of times. Joel Douglas. Joel Douglas looking nice, keeping the team in a good rhythm as they're building into the ride, still just behind the time of Waikato, but it's only half a second, so they're building nicely. All four riders looking comfortable. Can they lower the national record? That's going to be what Tim Pawson's chasing. 4:14, 1:84. If I'm looking at the right sheet, we hope so. So still just down a little, but plenty of track in front of them. 7 to go, 0.36. There they go, they're starting to move up. They're 0.03 in front, so they can keep this pace, keep it together. Remember the time's taken on the third rider, and that's where that record slipped away from Waikato. Oh, Auckland have done the same. 6 with 6 to go, down to 3. Luke Blackwood got them started. So Luke Blackwood comes off, and we're leaving it to Joel Douglas, Austin Norwell, Edward Pawson. 5 to go. Edward Pawson, he's got the bit between the teeth. Got to keep it smooth. You're applying the pressure. Make sure all the teammates are comfortable sitting on the wheel. 0.75 ahead of Waikato at this stage. 4 to go, 1,000 metres left. Edward Pawson asking to lift it. Down to 3, so Pawson does the short run up the bank, and so he can tuck on the wheel as soon as possible. Joel Douglas, he'll keep winding it up. 0.7 in front. They've got to keep building. 3 to go. Joel Douglas taking them down the back. Austin Norwell looking really comfortable, putting in a great ride. Sitting in second position, he'll be ready to take over with 2 to go. They're a second ahead of what Waikato did at the same time, so they're at 1.7. They've got to build a little bit more if they want to get the record. A big finish coming up, 1 lap to go. Been a tidy ride, third wheel, just the elastic, it's stretching, but it hasn't snapped. He's got latched back on. It's the Auckland U19 team coming around. What are they going to stop it in? They go across the line even. 4.14, 4.86. Just a fraction over the national record. What a ride by the Auckland team. 4.86. So the national record is 1.4184. 300s, very good ride. They can be proud of that because that record has stood and still stands since 2009. Chad Adair, Josh Atkins, Kaya Murdoch, Michael Vink still holding that. But they just gave it a very, very good nudge. So a 4-second advantage over Waikato. The Auckland Under-19 men, well, they've worked hard under the guidance of Tim Pawson, and they've really delivered. Be great to see that team go to the Oceania Games as a team and see what they could do over there, because I think they'll only get better. Book the tickets, Tim. PRV will cover it. So the next team starting to make their way up onto the track. Waikato Bay, Plenty Red. Oliver Watson Palmer, Kean Watts, Zach Patterson, Daniel Bridgewater. So mixed team with the under-19 riders stepping up into this. Oliver Watson Palmer joins well, the Auckland boys coming in as the Waikato team comes out. Really good ride from them. Coming down to the 22nd mark for the Waikato Red team, Daniel Bridgewater, Zach Patterson, Kian Watts, Oliver Watson-Palmer. So Waikato Red underway. Zach Patterson leading them off, settling them in. 21.4 opening lap. It'll be interesting to see what tactics they've worked out, how they're going to use their riders. Daniel Bridgewater, Kian Watts, Oliver Watson-Palmer are the riders in this team. Daniel Bridgewater. So he will do a big turn on the front, you can be sure of that. He's been in great form at these championships. So these boys travelling nicely. Fastest team on the track so far. Kian Watts moves up. Ridden plenty of teams pursuit. Part of the Junior World Championship winning team a number of years ago. Oliver Watson-Palmer, short turn, just a bike length to kick onto the back, but he's back in contact with the other riders. So they're going to come through halfway. 2:04 at the halfway mark. So Zach Patterson has done his job, comes off. So riding at high 14s, 14.9s for the 250 metres, 14.9 seconds a lap. Daniel Bridgewater just turns it up a little bit more, 5 to go. Kian Watts, Oliver Watson-Palmer gives a good ride from the young man, tagged on the back. Behind the horsepower, Dan Bridgewater swings up. Kian Watts, 4 to go, 1,000 metres left. They go through the 3K in 3:02, 994, 59 kilometres an hour. They're approaching the 60K an hour mark, and they just keep building in the last 4. It's average speed from a standing start. So it's got Kian Watts. He's got the big gear on, moving a little bit, not much on the bike, but you can see he's still trying to get some more out of that gear as he goes down the back straight. Swings up. Oliver Watson-Palmer looking comfortable. He'll probably do a fairly short turn. He does. He's just got to get himself on the back and hang on. The change with 3 is so difficult. 1 to go. Oliver Watson-Palmer is fighting. Kian Watts is also starting to struggle on Dan Bridgewater's wheel. Dan Bridgewater clearing out. Time's taken on the third rider as they cross the line, so Dan Bridgewater comes down. There we go, 4:03. 4:03.877. Impressive ride from Dan Bridgewater, young Zach Patterson, Oliver Watson-Palmer and Kian Watts. Well, it's going to be tight because the next lineup they can push that time. It's going to be the team of Southland. They've seen what Waikato have produced. 4:03.877. This is team's pursuit action. Team sprints to come. Track National Championships here in Cambridge, the final day. On the second to last session of these championships. The under 15s, under 17s all wrapped up. The under 19 events with just some mixed. Of course, tonight the under 15, under 17s are back in their team sprint finals and teams pursuit finals, so their individual events are over. Big night for them, starting at 4:30 p.m. on skysportnext. We'll kick that session off at 4:30 with the under 17 girls 3,000 metre teams pursuit final. And team sprint finals as well, and that'll conclude the program. After 5 days, plenty of national titles, plenty of national records being set. I think Cycling New Zealand will be pretty happy with what they've seen at these championships. Year after the Olympics, have a look at the depth that's coming through as they build towards. Next big challenge will be the Oceania Games, and then the Commonwealth Games World Championships. As the road to Paris is that little bit closer. So Southland lining up. Hamish Keese, Nick Kurgazoo, Tom Sexton, Marshall Irwood. Tom Sexton at the top of the track. He'll get them all settled in. Then he'll go to the front. No doubt pull some big laps. Can they produce something better than 4:03? So Nick Kurgazoo gets the team underway, the man that can ride the 1 minute kilo to take the gold in these championships. He won't quite go out that hard. He'll just settle them in, get them up to speed. Marshall Irwood follows him around. Hamish Keese, Tom Sexton. So 536.4, just a little bit behind Waikato, but they won't be worried about that. It's only 0.11. Marshall Irwood. Keen to get into it. Kicking hard on the pedal, stretching the team out a little bit. 105 through the first kilometre. 6-7 down on Waikato. Well, they're down to 3 early with 11 to go. Marshall Irwood comes off. So they'll be relying on Hamish Keese, Nick Kurgazoo, Tom Sexton, particularly Sexton and Kurgazoo to do the big pulls, big laps on the front. Oh, it's the risk when there's 3 again. We've seen it again. Too high, too long up the banking. Now he's got to use a lot of energy just to close the gap. Fourteen sevens. So they're building, their ride's building nicely. We go through halfway, 2:04, 0.2 down. So Tom Sexton will sit there. They just got to look after Hamish Keese. He's swinging a bit on the back. That change has really hurt him. 14.13. They're flying. No wonder Hamish Keese, he missed that. You're not going to close the gap at that speed. So Southland, they're on for the ride, but they've absolutely fallen apart. So They're not even going to finish by the looks, or are they just waiting? Hamish Keith sat up. There's still 4 to go. Tom went back to get him. So the team has got to have 3 finish. So it looks like Southland have gone. That's it. So the Southland team will be a DNF. I'll be disappointed with that. So they had a plan, but when it goes a little bit wrong, it can go a lot wrong, and that's what's happened to Southland. The importance of that change when you're down to 3. When you're riding 14-1, it's got to be perfect. 15-1 might have been a better option. So they are completing the journey by the looks. Hamish Keith's still got to go round to finish off his ride. There we go, 5:08. Well, they'll be disappointed. So Canterbury still to come. And Southland, well, we know they're disappointed. The next team coming up on the track, they'll be hoping things go a little bit tidier. Canterbury, Hugo Jones, Jonty Harris, Charlie Hegan, Darcy Sanders. So a couple of young riders in this team that have ridden their socks off. Charlie Hegan, Darcy Sanders, Jonty Harris, Hugo Jones, the man with all the experience. A lot will be on his shoulders in this to keep it together. The 4:03.877. Well, if everything goes perfectly, they're capable. They'll just be hoping for a good, tidy ride. Finish with the team. Time of Auckland, the under 19 team, 4:14. That'll be the first target. Or even Waikato Black, the 4:18, so to put themselves into one of the 3 fastest teams in this final. So Canterbury on the start line. So Canterbury, last team in the elite and under 19 men's team's pursuit, final. Hugo Jones settling them in. Trying to keep them nice and tidy. Won't worry about the time too much in the early stages. It's gone to pieces for most of the teams at the halfway stage. So keeping it together, keeping it tidy. That'll be their first goal. So Hugo Jones settled the team in nicely, goes through 1:06 in the first K. He's done all 4 laps. And he's just going to keep on going. Hugo Jones leads this Canterbury team. There's 11 to go. Sitting in third position, a 14.78. Hugo Jones decides to swing up, go to the back, take a breather. There'll probably be 3 short laps from the other ones and he'll be back to the front. Jonty Harris, 15.2. Well, he's still staying on the front. Jonty Harris, who's sitting in behind, he'll take over. Charlie Hegan, he now goes to the front. Jonty swings to the back. Third fastest so far. But they're all together, 8 to go. We're at the halfway stage, 2:08. So 2:08.4.16. Oh, the change didn't go so well. These boys are hurting a little bit. Hugo Jones will go to the front. He'll probably pull the next 3 or 4 laps. Try and bring the Canterbury team up. They're sitting in third. Six to go. Tall, powerful figure of Hugo Jones. Well, the others are pretty happy. He's tucked in behind him. They look a lot more comfortable there than when they were doing their own turns on the front. Hugo Jones. So Hugo Jones looking after this Canterbury team nicely. Moved them up into second position. So they've just got to keep it together, over 3 to go. They're still one piece, they're still all together. Through 3. Still sitting on that second place. Hugo Jones swings up. Well, the others will want to do some short turns. They won't want to drop the pace too much. 2 to go. So they're going to be asked the question, the young fellas are going to have to lift it up a bit. Oh, he's still staying on the front, coming into 1 to go. They need to get up. They're still hanging on to that second. Second wheel starting to hurt a little bit. But all 4 are still together as they come in. It's tidy. So Canterbury with 4.13. Nice ride to pick up the silver medal. 4.13.454 Well done, Hugo Jones. He looked after the team brilliantly. Waikato Bar Plenty taking out the top spot with 4:03.877. Canterbury 4:13. The Auckland U19 team 4:14 and 4:86. Very good performance from them. Waikato Bar Plenty black and Southland. So we see the Canterbury team. There's Hugo Jones. Very good ride from him. Rode like a true leader, looking after the team, bringing them home in that 4:13. And some of the more fancy lineups. Southland, that just went wrong for them. So well done to Canterbury. They knew what they had to do. Well guided. Andrew had them well looked after on the track. So they're just going to be getting set up for the under-19 men's team sprint final. So we have three heats, 5 teams. Thanks for joining us on Sky Sport Next this afternoon and throughout the 5 days of the National Championships. Big thanks for your messages. It's been a real pleasure bringing you the evening session. So if you haven't caught up overnight, great performance from the FDJ development team with a great friend of the New Zealand Cycle Classic, Ensign Plowright, getting his first big win in Europe. Thanks to a great lead out from Lawrence Pithy. And their teammate was also second, so a great result. Reuben Thompson played a big part in the early part of the race for his teammates, doing a lot of the work, setting it up for the sprinters. So great to see Ensign Plowright getting his first big win. Milan San Remo tonight. Can't wait. At least it's not snowing like a few years ago. You'll find, if you look back, the shot of Greg Henderson with the ice stuck to the top of the helmet. Not just ice, it was thick ice. And of course, in the trophy, Alfredo Binder, the Women's World Tour, Ella Harris, Michaela Harvey, Neem Fisher-Black in their lineup with their teams for that race. One of the big Italian classics. So coming up onto the track, it's men's under-19 team sprint finals, Southland Gold, Marshall Irwood, Charlie Tanoa, Ronan Sheeran. That's Charlie set in the blocks. He's ready to go. Don't just start the clock now. There's 34 seconds on it. He's ready. Ronan Sheeran, he's had an outstanding Championship, Marshall Irwood also. So these boys, they're going to be on for a good ride. Under 19 team sprint. The team across the track. So we get a false start. So with the false start, of course, the gun doesn't release. When the gun goes, the brake releases in the starting gate, but if a rider above them false starts, it also, they have to come back for a restart. Under 19 men. Well, novice mistake, pulled foot. And there are things available to prevent that from happening. And the 19 men. Team sprint competition. So they get set to go again. Got a box of G-Ray straps at home in my garage. Might have to bring them down. Offer them to these guys at a good rate. Or find them and give them a free set. So 30 seconds on the clock. Southland set to go again. Charlie Tanoa, Marshall Irwood, Ronan Sheeran. That's their lineup. It's a good one. 10 seconds. Ronan Sheeran on 3. So they're all away this time. Starter's happy. Charlie Tanoa, nice start from him. He's got an 11.8 through the first half of the 250 metres. Pulls up, 19.2, so not bad for the young man. So through the 500, this is 750 metres. Nice changeover, tidy, 33.3 through the 500. So Ronan Sheeran, you know he won't slow down in the last lap. This will be a good performance from Southland. 47.475. So Southland get us underway with a 47.475. So just a little over half a second off the New Zealand record, New Zealand Championship record that is, of Bradley Knipe, Hamish Beadle, Mitchell Morris. They rode a 46.15 back in 2016. That's the championship record. Of course, the New Zealand record is 46.229. Jackson Russell, Hamish Copwin, Ko Lart. On records night here in Cambridge, July 21. The New Zealand all-comers record is the Australian team. They rode a 44.825. Emerson Harwood, Jacob Schmidt, Zach Shaw. So coming up, Southland Red, Conrad Clark, Scott Henderson, Jesse Willis. Conrad Clark's in 2. Jesse Willis in 3. And then Waikato, Bapeni Black, Jared Mann, Maui Morrison, Oliver Watson-Palmer. So Jared Mann starting. You've upset him, Elise. He's taken his pink socks off. So capable of a good time. Both these teams, they've seen 47.475 as the time to beat. Pretty slick. Great to see Southland, 2 teams in. Along with Waikato Plenty. Well, they both have flash tracks, so you'd expect so. Well, away safely. Very good start on the other side from Jared Mann. Southland's got a false start, so they'll be coming back around. It's not the foot again. So they will have a rerun. Had the practice. They'll come back. They'll line up, get into position. So that was a very good ride by Waikato Plenty, but 49 just outside the time, couple of seconds off what Southland did there. Maui Morrison, Oliver Watson-Palmer. Southland produced 50.575. So 2 more teams to come up in this under 19 men's 750 time trial final. So Auckland coming up onto the track. He's had a busy program. Edward Pawson is going to be in the starting gate. So here's the starter in the team's pursuit. Now he's got to get out of the blocks just a bit quicker. It's team sprint. Luke Blackwood coming to the top. Good man to have in three. Waikato on the other side. Jackson Russell, Liam Kavanagh, Kyle Adkin. Now these boys will be chasing the record time, I'm sure. There's Luke Blackwood, had a great championships. We've said that more than once. Waikato, they'll be pumped. Well, both teams, Edward Pawson, he'll be asked to do a big sprinter's start. More the endurance rider, but he gets the team underway nicely. We look at Waikato Bar Plenty as they come past. Joel Douglas. Well, with the advantage, big advantage to Waikato. Fastest 18.9 lap, so the fastest opening lap. Very good performance. They're absolutely flying. Jackson Russell pulls up. They get the change right as well. So 32.5 through the 500, fastest team on the track. So there's Waikato. They'll be coming round into the finish. They're going to stop the clock. What at? It's going to be a good ride. It's 46.788. 46.788. So very good performance. 46.788. Well, there we go. We can confirm that. Waikato Bar Plenty from Southland, 47.475. Auckland picked up the bronze with a 48.703. Waikato Bar Plenty Black, 49.022. Southland Red, 55.75. Just outside the New Zealand record time of 46.715. New Zealand Championship record time, that is. So that time has hung around since 2016. Championship time. So Hamish Beadle riding on the road with his team in Europe. Novo Nordisk, part of that team. Bradley Knight, we'll see him coming out a little bit later on in the Elite Men's team sprint. So the Elite Men's 750 metre team sprint final. We have 4 teams lining up in this 750 team sprint final. Southland, they have Bradley Knight, Nick Kurgazoo, Hayden Jack. So who will start? Looks like Hayden Jack. Nick Kurgazoo goes to the top. Bradley Knight will line up in the middle. And we go across the other side of the track. Waikato Bar Plenty. Ewan Cousins, Zach Patterson, Cameron French. Cameron French starting. Of course, he joined us in the commentary the other night. He said he's lining up first competition. So the opening night, Tuesday night, he did the 18.5. Bit of an exhibition for us on the starting gates. Remember, former athlete, 400 metre hurdle specialist. Southland, Kurgazoo at the top, the man that rode the minute kilo. So they're underway. Cameron French on the other side. Southland on the side there, Cameron French. Wheel 2 got out nicely. Wheel 3 a little bit slow. You'll be wanting to wind into it. Well, Wheel 3 has got a lot of work to do for Waikato Bar Plenty if he's going to close the gap. So we've got 18.5 for Cameron French in the opening lap. 18.5, about the same as his ride the other night. Well, the man from Waikato in 3, he's had a slow, low time trials. He never got on. Nick Kirkazoo takes over for Southland. So let's see. Kirkazoo's got the big advantage. The Waikato rider didn't get on. Nick Kirkazoo stops the clock, 46.079. So good performance from Southland. Very tight, tidy ride. Waikato just not able to get on, and they finish with a 47.749. They were up. I feel the time was taken on the second rider, but the big gap back to wheel 3. Very costly. You've got to get in that slipstream at this speed. Nowhere to hide. It's hard to recover from. They can't wait. Men's 750 teams sprint final. So the Waikato team, their line up, Ruben Webster, Patrick Clancy in 2, Daniel Bridgewater will be in 3. Ruben Webster is the starter. So Daniel Bridgewater, he's had a big program, but in 3, he'll be warmed up nicely. Canterbury on the other side, Dylan Day, Sebastian Lip, Hugo Jones. Now, Hugo Jones will be wanting a good start. Get on the back wheel of the sprinters. Dan Bridgewater likewise. So we saw what happened last time with the third man doesn't get on. It's a lonely time trial. 20 seconds. Canterbury. Sebastian Lip lined up. (18.5), the best first lap. Cameron French. Ruben Webster busts out of the start gates. Dan Bridgewater, good effort from him at wheel 3. Getting wound up. Hugo Jones doing it in pretty well on this side. So teams spread out nicely, all leaving themselves something to run at. Ruben Webster, nice start for Waikato. Sebastian Lip for Canterbury. Ruben Webster goes through 18.8 or 18.3, that might have been it. 18.3. So very good first lap from Webster, 18.3. Oh, they're spread out. Pat Clancy as a lookout. So Hugo Jones, Dan Bridgewater in control for Waikato Bar Plenty. Crosses the line with a 46.896. So that's good enough for second place. Provisionally, of course, 46.896. Canterbury, 48.606. Confirming the results of the Elite Men's Team Sprint, Southland, 46.079. Waikato Bar Plenty Red, 46.869. Waikato Bar Plenty Black, 47.749. And then Canterbury in fourth place with a 48.606. So that is the action on the track for this session. We'll be heading up to the awards presentation shortly once the riders are off the track. We'll have the awards presentation for those finals. The final session will get underway at 4:30 p.m. Just remember to go mow your lawns, then come back, get tucked in for the under 17 and under 15 Final events on the program. They've been racing first thing in the morning. Now they're going to end the session for us. Really fitting way to end these track national championships with the future rock stars. First event will be the under 17 girls 3,000 metre teams pursuit. Ride-offs for the third and fourth, first and second, followed by the under 15 girls 500 metre time trial, under 15 boys 500 metre, and likewise in the under 17. And that'll finish off a very successful track national championships. Huge thanks to the team at Cycling New Zealand who have done a wonderful job, as always, putting this event together. Erin Cricklington and the team of commissaires. Again, an outstanding day's work. To our event sponsors and supporters, Skoda, the Amber Garden Nursery Centre, the Trillion Trust for providing the funding, the performance partners, Southern Spars Wheels, Cass Helmets, Lacole Jerseys, the nice championship jerseys the winners are getting, Vittoria Tyres, Didgerit, and the broadcast is being brought to you by Sky Sport Next and SBI Productions. I'm Dale Woodford. We're going to be going down to the presentations shortly, and we'll be back with racing at 4:30 p.m. So they're getting set up down in the infield for the presentations. Always good to see the teams coming up to get their medals. A lot of strategy has to go in with the mix of abilities, with the internationals jumping in with their centre teammates. So the teams are just about set down there for the presentation for the team sprint, teams pursuits. Once they're all set, we'll cross to the podium announcer, Jeanette Douglas, down there in the infield, event director for Cycling New Zealand.
Cool. Ladies and gentlemen, the award ceremony for the elite and under 19 men's team pursuit will now take place. The medals will be presented by Michelle Henderson, representing the Cycling New Zealand board. In third place, and the winners of the bronze medal, representing Auckland, Luke Blackwood, Joel Douglas, Austin Norwell, and Edward Pawson. The Auckland team will also be awarded the Jim Guest Memorial Trophy as the first under-19 team. In second place, and the winners of the silver medal, representing Canterbury, Hugo Jones, John T. Harris, Charlie Hegan, and Darcy Sanders. Well, I'll have to walk quickly then. Yeah. I'm just going to keep talking. And in first place, and the winners of our national championship and recipients of national jerseys, your 2022 Elite and Under 19 Team Pursuit National Champions, representing Waikato, Daniel Bridgewater, Zach Patterson, Kean Watts, and Oliver Watson Palmer. The Waikato team will also be awarded the A.W. Goodall Trophy and a native plant from our sponsors, Amber Garden Centre. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in congratulating our place getters for the 2022 Elite and Under 19 Team Pursuit. Ladies and gentlemen, the awards ceremony for the 2022 Track National Championships Under-19 Men's Team Sprint will now take place. The medals will be once again presented by Michelle Henderson, representing the Cycling New Zealand board. In third place, and the winners of the bronze medal, representing Auckland, Luke Blackwood, Joel Douglas, and Edward Pawson. In second place, in the winners of the silver medal, representing Southland, Marshall Irwood, Charlie Tenau and Ronan Shearing. And in first place, in the winners of the gold medal and recipients of national jerseys, your 2022 Under-19 Team Sprint National Champions, representing Waikato Bay of Plenty, Kyle Aitken, Liam Kavanagh and Jackson Russell. The winning team will also receive native plants from our sponsors, Amber Garden Centre. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us and show your appreciation for the place getters in the 2022 Under-19 Men's Team Sprint. Ladies and gentlemen, the award ceremony for the 2022 Track National Championships Elite Men's Sprint will now take place. The medals will once again be presented by Michelle Henderson, representing the Cycling New Zealand Board. In third place, in the winners of the bronze medal, representing Waikato, Ewan Cousins, Cameron French and Zach Patterson. In second place, in the winners of the silver medal, representing Waikato, Dan Bridgewater, Patrick Clancy and Reuben Webster. And in first place, in the winners of the gold medal and the recipients of the national jersey, your 2022 Elite Men's Team Sprint National Champions, representing Southland, Hayden Jack, Nick Kurgazu and Bradley Knipe. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us and show your appreciation for our place getters in the Elite Men's Team Sprint. If we could ask those remaining in the velodrome to please exit as soon as possible. We do need to get the next group in, so you can exit the velodrome through the roller door.
Well, thanks very much for joining us for this mid-afternoon session. We will be back at 4:30 p.m. for the final session of the Track National Championships here in Cambridge. I look forward to joining you on the Sky Sport Next commentary then.